Back in 2010, a random day in that year, I took my first ever RuneScape break.
This game sucks. I quit.
And I put that in quotation because, well, you'll find out. So my moneymaker of choice was chopping trees just south of the Grand Exchange.
This is going to make me so much money.
And I would do this for days, on weekends, after school. Eventually, I made enough GP to be able to buy my first ever set of full iron armor.
Look at me in full iron. Panties are going to drop.
I went to the GE, I right-clicked on the cashier, and I bought the set. When you buy a set, it comes in this pack. And to get the full armor out of the set, you have to exchange it with the Grand Exchange cashier. I didn't know this. And I got so frustrated because I spent some time trying to figure out how to get this armor out of this pack set.
I'm 10 years old and I'm dumb. I can't figure this out.
Now, I'm pretty sure that Google was a thing back then, but for some reason, I just can't remember if I actually even bothered to try and Google search that. I just remember trying to interact with the pack set in my inventory, trying to see if there was like a right-click option or you could use it on something. Well, there was. The cashier. You had to exchange it. But in that moment, I just couldn't figure it out. So, after cutting all the trees, putting in all that time after school on weekends, just chopping away at these trees, I just gave up. I dropped the armor set on the ground and I just logged off. I quit. Or, well, I thought I quit. Little did I know, this would be my first ever RuneScape break. You see, you never truly quit RuneScape. It's not a thing. Nobody ever quits RuneScape. You just take breaks. And I've recently just came out of a 2-year break from the game, which might be one of the longer breaks I've ever taken. But RuneScape is one of those games where it doesn't really matter how long of a break you take because, well, your character is it's still gonna be there. Your character is gonna be exactly where you left it at, which is either depressing or comforting. It might be a depressing matter when you realize and see that your friends are better than you now and you're still you. A complete noob.
You're a noob.
Which is okay because RuneScape is the kind of game that you play at your own pace. And what I mean by that is when I do decide to come back and play the game, usually I kind of start off slow. I'll start with AFK skills, I'll train those for a bit, and then gradually I'll ramp up to more intense gameplays like bossing. And then by the end of that current journey, I'll realize that I'm slowly catching up to my friends and that I'm not such a noob anymore. Maybe I might even be better than them. Well, what usually happens is you start to play more and then your friends start to play less. And because they're playing less, they're not progressing as much as you are, and then you're eventually just gonna get ahead of them.
Who's the noob now?
But it doesn't matter because when your friends decide to come back and play, then you decide to start playing less. And it's just this constant vicious cycle of taking breaks, and that's just how it is. But honestly, that's really what the grind is about. Flexing on your friends. Making sure they know how bad they are at the game compared to you because now you've gotten better than them. Because RuneScape really isn't a game, it's a social media. And as a professional social media doom scroller, I know that at the heart of every social media, the actual goal is to compare your life to their life. And as I compare my life to their life, I start to realize that my life is not as exciting as theirs, and really the only option is to just give up.
I think somebody needs to call 911 and get a wellness check on this guy.
I took my 2-year break and I think I'm ready to get back on the saddle. The saddle being my mouse and the computer. When I wrote that, I thought it was funnier, but now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't even know if it makes sense. Now, usually when I take my break or when I come off my break, the first thing I do when I log in is check my Slayer task.
Let's check what my Slayer task.
But not today because there's a new skill to sink my time into. And that new skill is sailing.
This skill is bad.
I recently just hit 70 and honestly the skill isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
This skill is good.
At first I was really skeptical about a new skill coming to old school RuneScape because sailing didn't really sound like it was gonna fit within the overall theme of the game, but we have it now, and honestly, it's kind of a breath of fresh air. It's something new, it's different from anything we've experienced from the original game, and I gotta say, good job on the developers because they really pulled this one off. Now, I think the skill works because of the developers' willingness to make changes just based on the feedback from the community, and I think it sets a great example of how to implement future updates, big or small.
RuneScape 3 should probably be taking some notes.
It's a win-win for both the players and the developers. Now, since I'm on the topic of updates and new things coming into the game, let's talk about the 3 new quests that just popped up.
Let's go do some quests.
That I'm not going to do because I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Do you want to play a cozy farm simulator? RuneScape. Do you want to play a game that has intense boss fights that challenge you and test your sanity? RuneScape. RuneScape is literally the only game you ever need to play. Get rid of your game library. All the games you have in your game library, just get rid of it. It's all trash compared to RuneScape. But I want to play Pokemon. RuneScape has Pokemons. But I want to play a shooter. RuneScape is a shooter. But I want to play Legend of Zelda. We have Link. RuneScape is the kind of game that has a little bit of everything, just depending on your playstyle. Like for me, I do enjoy the occasional boss fights. But where I really shine is when I don't have to play the game at all. I just sit back and I click every minute or so and I just watch movies. So wait, are you really even playing the game? Shut up. Don't question my playstyle. It doesn't really matter how you like to play the game. My playstyle changes just depending on the kind of mood I'm in. Recently, after a long week of work, it's nice to just log on to RuneScape, click on a hook, gain some XP, and then open a new tab of HBO Max and hope that a new episode of The Night of the Seven Kingdoms drops. It's such a good show. I definitely look at RuneScape as my comfort game, because when I don't know what to play, or really do when I'm on the computer, I just log on to RuneScape. And when I do decide to come back and play the game, it's kind of a sign that I just need to slow down and take a deep breath and smell the roses.
Gross!
And maybe that's why RuneScape is such a special game to me, because it doesn't really try to force you to do anything. It's almost like the developers gave you this world as a canvas to explore.
I don't want to.
Or not explore. And right now, I'm in the mood to just turn my brain off and maybe socialize a little. Oh look, I have friends. I don't care what anyone else says, because RuneScape is a social media, just like Facebook, Instagram, and Tesla. It's a place where you can connect with people all over the globe. And because if somebody plays RuneScape, you know they're automatically a cool person. And when I choose my friends, I want them to be cool. And people that play RuneScape are cool. I logged in one day and this dude I met 5 or 6 years ago is now married. He's making career changes. He bought a house. And now he's planning to expand his family. The last time I talked to him, he wasn't married. He didn't have a job. I'm pretty sure he was homeless. I might be exaggerating that just a little bit. And really, that's the beauty in all of this. At the end of the day, we're all still people behind the characters that we play, and people who experience life at different paces. Whether you're still a bachelor with no kids, no mortgage to pay off, and a lawn to mow every 2 weeks, or you're like me, a 29-year-old with a mortgage to pay off, a lawn to mow every 2 weeks, and kids to try and entertain. And then there's another guy that I met 7 or 8 years ago. He started off with 3 kids. And then one day I log in and he's married, and he married a lady who also had 3 kids. So now he's got 6 kids in total. He's got a whole basketball team. He also bought a house. So now he's got 6 kids to buy RuneScape membership for. He's got a lawn to mow every 2 weeks and a mortgage to pay off. I think the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because RuneScape has held my time like no other game ever has. I've been playing this game well over 15 years now, and I've met some pretty interesting people throughout that time. And those connections would have never happened if the Gower brothers never created this social media called RuneScape. RuneScape is the kind of social media that makes you grind out clicking on objects so that you collect gold, and you can use that gold to sell it on farming websites so you can pay off your mortgage. Please don't ban me. It's a game that lets you choose how interactive you want to be with it. Whether you like to waste time in bank stand at the northeast corner of the Grand Exchange, it's the best spot by the way, changed my mind. Or instead of bank standing and wasting your time, you like to sip pot and click boss. Or if you like a slower pace where you just click a hook, watch the XP drop, and while the XP is dropping, you're watching Knights of the Seven Kingdoms on HBO Max. Because that show is really awesome. Dude, you've already said that. God, I love that show. This guy. So much so, I actually started reading the book the other day because I just can't wait for more episodes. And I just need to find out what happens to Dunk and Egg. And just like how Dunk and Egg have become friends over their journey currently, you too also like to check your friends list, making sure that your friends still log in so that it makes you feel better knowing that you're not the only one that still play RuneScape. They do too. We're all losers together. But at the end of the day, none of that matters because you fucked up. We all fucked up. You fucked up by creating an account on this cookie clicker simulator game called Old School Runescape, and now, like me, we're all stuck on this grind together. However, you can take a break. But just remember, if you do decide to take a break, we'll be here waiting for you, ready to listen, to hear where life has taken you. The ups, the downs, the ugly. And when you do log back in, just remember that I'm also going to shit on you because you don't have an Inferno cape. Dude, you don't even have an Inferno cape. Shut up. If you made it this far into the video, you're awesome. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more, please consider liking and subscribing. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.